Hey everybody, it's Molly with All Ears coming to you live from my house with a very special video. Today, as you may know, right this moment while I'm speaking to you from my TV, I'm also really in the Magic Kingdom because today is the grand reopening of Walt Disney World theme parks. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you everything that we know about the parks reopening thus far, what the experience is going to be like. We're going to have some coverage from our on-the-ground reporter from previews earlier this week, and then stay tuned for the rest of this week when we are going to be bringing to you videos from the parks reopening. Super excited to share that with you. And without further ado, let's get into these questions. As with everything with Disney planning and news recently, things have been changing so frequently, so things could be updated when you see this video or things could be updated shortly after. We are providing you the most up-to-date information that we have at this time, and keep checking All Ears. Follow us on social media. Make sure you're checking the Disney website for any changes that happen, because again, this has never happened before. We're all learning together on this one, so keep that in mind. What is the Park Pass reservation system? Currently, to enter Walt Disney World theme parks, not only do you need a valid ticket, but you need a Disney Park Pass reservation that's made in advance using the Walt Disney World website. You cannot make it in the My Disney Experience app. It needs to be made on a browser, either on your phone or on your computer. The Park Pass reservations can be made for one person per day. However, you can make them for other people in your party, but there is no park hopper. As long as you are linked up, like you could make a fast pass for another person, you can make a Park Pass reservation for them, again, as long as they have a valid ticket. Guests with resort reservations can book them for up to the length of their stay, and annual pass holders can book up to 3 at a time. From what we understand, once you use your first of the 3, you can now go in and book another of the 3, but of course we won't know for sure until the parks actually open, but that's what we've been told. We have a whole video I did a few weeks ago when the reservation system went live that we will link for you that answers all the nitty-gritty details regarding how the reservation system works, shot by shot, but it is a very user-friendly system once you get into it in the Walt Disney World website. Do I have to wear a mask? Yes. Walt Disney World currently states that any guest ages 2 or older needs to wear a mask to enter the theme parks, as well as Disney Springs and the common areas at the Walt Disney World resorts. Will my temperature be checked? Yes. Temperatures will be taken when you are entering the Walt Disney World theme parks, just like they were at Disney Springs, just like we've seen at Universal and SeaWorld. Anyone higher than 100.4 will not be allowed access to the park, and neither will their party. However, what we've seen before is that if you are a little hot, we get it. It's Florida. Disney understands that you may be just hot because you're in Florida. If you do have a little bit over 100.4 or 100.4 or a little higher, there is actually at Disney Springs, there's been tents that you can go sit into, have a glass of water, cool down for a moment, and then you can try again. We anticipate these will be at the Disney World theme parks as well, but of course, stay tuned. That's why we're here. As a reminder, Fast Pass Plus is gone temporarily when Disney is initially reopening. Disney states this is because of limited capacity in the parks. You won't need Fast Pass Plus. In addition, they need the queue space in order to properly socially distance the guests that are waiting in line. At Universal, we have seen markers on the ground that guests are supposed to wait on at least 6 feet apart. Disney stated they would also be using markers in their queues to designate socially distanced rules. Disney has stated they would be using markers on the ground as well in order to properly socially distance guests throughout the queue. And now, let's go to our reporter in the field who can share what she saw during the previews earlier this week. Molly, over to you.
We're riding Peter Pan's flight. It's a 15-minute wait. We're required. So here's the queue. It's going down this way. Wrapping around a little bit. Now, much like at Universal, these queues are gonna look really, really long because they have to space everybody out so far. So when you walk up to an attraction and you see that the queue starts all the way out here, don't freak out because again, they have to space everybody out properly. So. There was hand sanitizer right before you got on, and then there's hand sanitizer right when you get off. So that way you are always having clean hands when you get on the ride and right after you get off the ride. Okay, so the posted wait time was 15 minutes. I was on and off the ride in 10.
Thanks for sharing that, Molly. We look forward to sharing more cute experiences with you throughout the different parks this week as we share videos as each of the parks reopen. Again, stay tuned for those. The characters will still be in the parks, however, it's not going to be the traditional meet and greets and parades that we are used to. Before the parks reopened and previews started, we had seen the characters in one location, that was Topolino's Terrace, the character dining meal over at the Riviera Resort. The characters no longer came to the table, they simply paraded around. They stopped near the table if you asked them to. You could take selfies with them, wave at you, but they weren't able to sign autograph books or actually come to your table or give you a hug. Disney has only announced one character dining experience that will be open when the parks do. That is the Garden Grill restaurant inside the Land Pavilion. That is at Epcot. It features Chip and Dale's Harvest Feast, so typically you'll find Chip and Dale, Mickey, and Pluto in that spinning restaurant above Living with the Land. Disney has again stated that even though traditional character meet and greets and parades will be temporarily suspended, the characters will still have a very strong presence in the park. Over at Universal, we saw characters on floats, we saw characters with face masks, we saw characters up on stages that you could take a selfie with 6 feet away. So Universal did a great job in interweaving the characters into the experience, so you still saw them there. Disney has stated that they are going to have different cavalcade type experiences throughout the parks, and they'll be themed to whatever park they're in. Among others announced, we're looking forward to seeing things such as a Royal Princess Processional at Magic Kingdom, the Mickey and Friends Cavalcade at the Magic Kingdom, Donald's Dino Land Boat Bash, I want to say, at Animal Kingdom, the Pixar Promenade at Hollywood Studios, the Frozen Promenade over at Epcot. So again, while characters are not going to be in the same traditional way that we've known for many, many years, they are still going to be in the parks, and there will still be that experience that you can have with the characters. Donald's Dino Boat Bash. We caught a glimpse of one of these cavalcades at our preview, and once again, we're gonna kick it to our reporter in the field, Molly. How was that cavalcade?
Look who it is. Good morning. Hi. Oh my gosh. Hi, Piglet. Hi. Oh, you're so cute. To the east, rock it to the left. Hi, Tink! That's how we're going to see characters for a little bit. They have these different cavalcades that come down the parade route from Frontierland down through Main Street. And there's a couple different ones here at Magic Kingdom. There's going to be a couple different ones at all the parks. But they are at complete random. There's not going to be on a time guide. They're not going to be in My Disney Experience because they don't want people to stand around and crowd like they would for a parade. It's just a random, delightful surprise. And so you can wave at the characters. They play some good music, but keep in mind, make sure you're maintaining your social distancing from others around you when they come by. Not the same as a real parade, but it's fun, and you get to wave at everybody. So we'll see if we can catch some more in a little bit.
Thanks, Molly. Once again, we're looking forward to covering the other character experiences as the Disney World theme parks officially reopen. Will there be shows? Disney did state initially that when the parks reopened, fireworks and parades would be temporarily suspended. We weren't sure what was going to happen with theater shows. However, when Disney released their full list of attractions and experiences that would be open in the parks, we noticed that most of the theater shows are not included, which means currently Festival of the Lion King, Voyage of the Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast Live on Stage, Turtle Talk, shows of that nature that would be hard to socially distance for both the cast and the guests are not going to be offered when Disney initially reopens. We have seen shows at both Universal Orlando and SeaWorld who had social distance rules in place for both seating the guests and exiting. At Universal, for example, you had to seat every other row, and then there were at least 3 seats in between you and the party next to you, and they dismissed the theaters row by row so that everybody didn't get up and leave at the same time. Again, there aren't theater shows when Disney World reopens. However, as they do start slowly bringing things back, we could see similar practices at Walt Disney World as we have at the other theme parks. Will all the rides be open? More or less, yes. Basically, every ride attraction that Disney has will be reopening with the theme parks. We have full lists on AllEars.net of every attraction that will be opening at Walt Disney World. But yes, all your big ones: Flight of Passage, Rise of the Resistance, all the mountains at Magic Kingdom, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, pretty much every physical ride attraction will be reopening. The one that I noticed wasn't going to open was Primeval Whirl, which is a seasonal attraction over at Animal Kingdom anyway. But again, rides, you're good. How will the rides be different? Again, we're gonna need to get on the ground and investigate attraction by attraction, which ones have differences, which ones are the exact same. At Universal Orlando, we saw a few things in how the attractions operated that were different from normal. For starters, they eliminated several pre-shows because it would be impractical to socially distance while you are trying to watch a pre-show as a group of people. Additionally, they were seating every other row or every other car depending on the ride vehicle and putting in hand sanitizer into each guest's hand before they got on the attraction. Once again, we're gonna have to see how Disney handles these things attraction by attraction. If there are pre-shows that have been cut, what they're doing as far as seating goes, it's gonna vary by attraction, but we did get to attend a preview, and once again, we're gonna kick it over to that on-the-ground coverage so that we can see what Magic Kingdom was like initially when the attractions reopened. Molly, back to you.
The biggest thing that's different about Haunted Mansion right now is that there is no stretch room. I'm not surprised by that. There weren't pre-shows at Universal. There's just no way to affect, oh hi! Thank you! There would just be no way to effectively socially distance people in there while still running the operation, because you could only put like a few parties in there and that would slow it way, way down. So there's no stretch room right now. You just walk on through it and the ghost host says, "Welcome, foolish mortals. Now kindly step all," or he just says, "Welcome, foolish mortals. Now we'll continue our little tour." So he doesn't say the whole middle part, but that's Haunted Mansion.
I've said it before and I'll say it again, make sure you stay tuned to AllEars.net TV over the coming weeks because we are gonna have videos from each of the 4 parks. We're gonna get into specifics of attraction by attraction, what they are doing differently so that you know what to expect when you go to the theme parks.
Hey guys, I'm at the Contemporary, as you can tell, about to go in for dinner, and I just got some breaking news that we had to share and put into this video. So initially, Disney announced that they were not doing any virtual queues at all, including for Rise of the Resistance, but they've changed their mind. Rise of the Resistance will now be the only attraction that has a virtual queue. And for those of you who have been before and are used to the boarding group procedure, forget everything you knew because they have changed it. So previously you had to get to the park bright and early and everybody had to get the boarding group for the entire day right when the park opened. Now Disney of course doesn't want crowding. They don't want to encourage people to all get there at the same time and stand around trying to get a boarding group for Rise of the Resistance. So the way it's going to work is they are going to have designated times throughout the day at 10 a.m., 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. that virtual queue spots will be available for Rise of the Resistance. None of the other attractions are using it. Smuggler's Run, Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway, Slinky Dog Dash, Tower of Terror, none of those are going to have it. So you can go enjoy those while you're waiting. Make sure you got those push notifications on though, because you will get alerted when it is your time to go join the Resistance, and you will have 1 hour, not 2, 1 hour to return to Rise of the Resistance to then get into the actual physical line, and you can go enjoy Rise of the Resistance. Say hello to Poe for me. Whew.
As we've seen at World of Disney and Disney Springs and the Disney Resort merchandise locations, Disney has implemented stickers on the ground to socially distance you while you're waiting in line. They've added plexiglass in between you and the cast member. They've also are encouraging contactless payments, so if you can pay with a Magic Band or a credit card, that's preferred over cash. They've added signage throughout the different stores and requested that you limit the handling of merchandise. We expect to see this throughout the Walt Disney World merchandise locations that open in the theme parks as well. Additionally, at Disney Springs, there is a virtual queue that they can turn on if needed for all the merchandise locations, where you would put yourself in line and they'll text you when there's availability and capacity in the store for you to join. Disney is also using this in the theme parks for the major stores like the Emporium and others to make sure that they limit the capacity in the stores. Additionally, to make sure people can properly socially distance and cut down on lines, Disney has stated that no limited edition merchandise will debut in the stores for right now as well. Things will still premiere on Shop Disney, but for right now, nothing like Minnie the Main Attraction is going to premiere in the stores. That's what Disney said thus far. Is my annual pass getting extended? That depends. There were quite a few different things that happened with annual passes right now, and it depends on if you get paid in full or are on the annual payment plan. So let's start with those guests that paid in full. If you did not do anything to your annual pass and you paid in full, your annual pass would automatically be extended by the number of days that the park was closed. So, for example, my annual pass expired in August. It now expires in December because Disney automatically extended my expiration date. However, if you wanted to get a refund for the dates that the park was closed and keep your same expiration date, you are perfectly okay to do that. You just need to call Disney and they can process that partial refund. For guests with annual passes on the annual payment plan, Disney stopped charging the monthly fee during the park closure, and therefore your ticket would still expire at the original date because you hadn't paid for when the park was closed. However, you can also opt to call Disney and have them extend your pass by the dates that the park was closed, and then you would keep those payments up. Once they restart this month, you would keep those payments, but your date would be extended. So therefore, you would either be not paying as much on the annual pass because you didn't pay when the park was closed and you're keeping the same expiration date, or you would pay as much as you did on the annual pass, but you're getting longer time because they're not counting the dates when the parks were closed. I know, this is very confusing. And to make it more confusing, Disney, after they announced that, added some bonuses, and that would be a free month on your annual pass, but there are a few regulations. Long story short, if you do nothing as an annual pass holder who paid in full, your park pass is gonna be extended out the dates the parks were closed, and then additionally, you're gonna get a bonus month you'll be reflected in your My Disney Experience account in October 2020. If you're on the payment plan and you do nothing, your park expiration date will stay the same, but you won't have paid for anything during the park closure, and then you're also going to get that 1 month extension. That's how I read it so far. Again, this could all change and we will keep you posted. This is a very complicated and confusing part of the deal. Can I buy a ticket?
2020 tickets are on sale. Hooray, exciting. New updates.
Disney has stated that when Disney World reopens, park hopping will not be available. You can make, again, 1 park pass reservation per day. You cannot make multiple, so there will not be any park hopping when it comes to the Disney theme parks when they reopen. However, park hopping is available for purchase when you're booking a 2021 package, which lets us know that Disney is hopeful that park hopping will return in the future. We have been told by multiple cast members that you will be able to leave and re-enter the same park on the same day though. So if you're at Magic Kingdom, you want to go back to your resort for a few hours, swim, get a nap in, and then head back in the afternoon, you can absolutely do that. You can leave and come back to the same park on the same day. What are the hotels like? When Disney reopened some of their resorts at the end of June 2020, I was able to stay at Bay Lake Tower and visit several different resorts for dining reservations so I could scope out what the resort experience was like. We've got a whole video on it. We recommend you check that out, but the big changes were, again, you have to wear a mask. There are certain things in the rooms that are a little bit different, and you had to have a dining reservation to visit another Disney resort.
In addition to dining being available, in addition to park tickets for 2020 being available, 2020 reservations for your resorts are also available. Of course, everything's going to be limited in capacity, but up until today, the day I'm filming this, that wasn't the case, so hooray!
When staying at the Disney resorts, transportation was not available, so I had to take my own car. The only transportation available at the time was a bus to and from your resort in Disney Springs. However, Disney has stated that when they return, transportation will be available in limited capacity. We are seeing reports that the monorail will open when the Magic Kingdom does on July 11th, but we're not sure when the Epcot line will reopen. We are seeing that the Skyliner will be reopening on July 15th, which makes sense. That's when Hollywood Studios and Epcot reopen. We're also seeing that some of the resort boats will open up on July 11th. Again, this is all what's been reported to us so far, and we're gonna have to scope it out as the parks are actually reopening and give you more transportation updates. But yes, Disney transportation will be available, but you should prepare due to social distancing and limited capacity for it to take a little bit longer than normal. Can I book a dining reservation? On June 30th, Disney opened up their dining reservations in the theme parks for guests that had a dining reservation that had been canceled prior to September 2nd. So if you had dining reservations on or before September 2nd in the parks, you would have gotten an email and you were able to book different dining at the Disney theme parks, at the restaurants that we're going to be opening.
Dining reservations are open and available for everyone now. You have a 60-day window prior to your vacation that you can make your dining reservations.
Can I visit a Disney resort to go to a lounge or quick service restaurant that doesn't take reservations if I'm not staying there? This is something that Disney's been intentionally vague about. When I was staying there, the rule was to get into another resort, you had to present a confirmed dining reservation, and at the time, you also had to have been staying at a Disney resort. Now the Disney World website says that for day guests, you have to have a confirmed dining reservation, which should mean that if you are not staying at a resort, you could go to that one with a dining reservation. However, nothing is stated about lounges or quick service restaurants that don't take dining reservations. I would operate under the assumption that you cannot visit a resort you're not staying at or don't have a dining reservation without some kind of reservation. I've said that word 100 times. But this is one thing Disney's been intentionally vague about, and Disney keeps changing things, and it's for a reason. They don't want overcrowding at the resorts right now. So I wish I had a better answer, but the official answer is you have to have a dining reservation to visit a Disney World resort. What is mobile check-in? Mobile check-in is something that Disney implemented with the reopening of the resorts to help assist with dining. It is something you can do in your Walt Disney World app, and you can check in for your dining reservations 15 minutes prior without visiting the hostess stand. So it will ask you if you have any allergies, if you're celebrating anything, how many people are in your party, check in, and then you'll get a text when your table's ready to go visit the hostess stand so that there's not crowding there to help promote social distancing. What about mobile order? Mobile order is something that Disney had prior to the parks closing and that they're going to be implementing in more locations across Walt Disney World, they've stated, to help ensure that guests are not crowding in the lines waiting for food. They have implemented new mobile order systems at the resorts as well as Deluxe Burger in Disney Springs. One big change from before the closure is that you now pick what time you'd like to pick up the food before you just do it and then say, I'm here, prepare my order. But now you actually pick a window when you'd like to visit. You can't edit that. If you realize you're going to be a little bit late or something, you can just go into the app and change your return window. Additionally, at Deluxe Burger, it would text you and say, your order's ready, go to this station. You went to station 3. They had all your food ready there, packaged up, ready to go. Curious to see what the quick service dining is like and the mobile order system is like in the theme parks when it returns. But that's what we've seen so far at the resorts in Disney Springs. As a note, I want to state that it's even more important now, more than ever, to bring portable chargers with you when you visit Walt Disney World. You're going to be on your phone a lot. You're going to have to do your mobile order, your mobile check-in. You can also use the search feature to search for hand sanitizer stations. So make sure you have a portable charger with you because you're definitely going to need your phone quite a bit when you're at the park. Won't need it for fiddle-faddling, but you'll need it to check in for your food. Well, friends, that is a wrap on this Mollywood News Report Q&A video about all of the changes at Walt Disney World. Excited to share with you what we are seeing in the parks as they are reopening. Make sure you stay tuned to those. What other questions do you have for us? Make sure you leave them in the comments. We'll do our best to get as many answers as we can in the videos, on social media, on our website. We're making sure that we get the news to you as quickly as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to follow us again. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at AllEars.net. And until next time, y'all, I'm Molly, and it's been magical. Go follow me on Insta right now. I'm in Magic Kingdom.
Want to see more of my videos? Click over here. Want to subscribe? You can do that right here. And also, ring that notification bell to make sure you get instantly notified anytime we post a new video. Thanks for following. See you real soon.